So let's go ahead and talk about why trading with the billionaire mindset instead of a day trading sporadic mindset is going to get you a lot farther. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's study here. Okay. So let's study Warren Buffett, for example. So the most profitable trade that he's made was off of Apple. Okay. First started buying shares in around 2013, 2016 here, late 2016, started buying shares. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull up the Apple chart here. Okay. And let's go and let's check out where the chart was in 2016. Okay. Late 2016. So we'll check the wintertime area here. So we'll do like December, November 2016. Okay. Okay. So around here. So let me go ahead and put a box here. Okay. So I'll say he'll buy around where that gray line is. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go to current price. And it says he sold around 2023. Okay. Selling the selling. Okay. 2023 was the selling point. So now let's go then. 2023. Okay. Like right here. Okay. So boom. So the trade was this big. The trade was from $24 a share to $149 a share. And the chart just moved within an upwards direction the whole time. Just kept throwing capital in it, kept throwing capital in it. Okay. And I'm going to show you how we can easily capitalize off of opportunities like that. Okay. So, one, information is what matters. Okay. He believed in the future of Apple due to the fact that Apple at that time was creating innovative technology that nothing else had, such as Face ID, touch finger, stuff like that. Okay. So, really just getting in on the future. So, as it's 2025, okay, the future right now is cryptocurrency. So that's why things related to cryptocurrency end up spiking up extremely hard and are very valuable. Take the Coinbase broker, for example. Okay. Coinbase here. Boom. Coinbase just came out in 2021 and it has value of $303 a share, even after the after IPO opening. Okay. So it opened high because it was already valuable. But even after swinging all the way down to around $30 a share, swung right back up to the 300 area. Why? Because it is a valuable play and it has future innovation. Okay. Making the future go forward, making humanity have an easier time so that we don't struggle. Okay. So whoever can innovate things for the future so that humans don't struggle will have success. Okay. So that's pretty much what makes a successful business, individual, company, something that can push human beings forward in any way. Okay. So that's why things like Coinbase are going to be valuable. Okay. And take Robinhood, for example. Robinhood has been doing a lot of crypto stuff as well, too. And they've been opening credit cards and things like that. Okay. Also, take another broker, for example. A play that I think is going to explode. Webull came out in around 2025. And as you can see, had an IPO opening of around $79 a share. Went down to a low, created this low. And I believe that, inshallah, in a couple of months, years, whatever, I'm down to wait. I'm just going to keep buying shares until we hit this resistance point. Okay. And then from there, I'll sell like 80% and then just keep holding the other rest and keep letting them run for like the end of time, probably until I ever need it desperately. Okay. And then I'm going to take that profit and I'll get into something else and then start from there. Okay. I'm going to research something else that's going to be valuable or buy a low of something else that's valuable and catch a sweep up. Okay. Even something like this, finding a crypto play. Okay. ENA USD. Okay. This has something to do with Ethena and Ethereum. Okay. So Ethereum is extremely, extremely popular within the crypto community and definitely has its uses as well too. Okay. So, and this is related to it. This is a stable coin and it's extremely, extremely useful to know what has value and what doesn't have value. Okay. Solana, you need it to trade meme coins. Bitcoin, there's a limited amount. Okay. XRP, owned by Ripple. Okay. BNB, owned by Airbnb. Okay. There's going to be a lot of invaluable things. Okay. So don't get caught up in that, and don't get caught up in chasing hype, anything meme. I don't care if it's meme coins, meme stocks, anything meme, cringe. We're here to actually make some money and invest in valuable things. Okay. Take GE, for example, GE Aerospace. This is just any company, even companies you might have not heard of, but they have value within the future of society. As you can see, the stock just goes in a straight line. So while people are day trading, right, having their P&L swing like this, and their bread is just going all over the place, negative 1,000, plus 500, and then you feel good one day, and then negative again. And so instead of your emotions going like this, you could be long investing. And if you do hit a day trade, just take that profit and put it into a long investment play. Don't keep trying to day trade. Okay, if you take a day trade or you take a little swing trade, okay, take that and then take that profit and put it into some long investments. Okay, this way you can go spend time with the grandkids. This way you can go sit down. You can enjoy life. Okay, you don't have to stress. And your money's always going to be making you money. Why? Because you were the one who planted your rocks down. You were the one who planted your feet down for yourself in the future. And sometimes what we can fail to do as humans is fail to prepare ourselves for the future. Okay, so that's why I really just want to give this lesson today. So preparing for the future is going to make things a lot easier. Okay, when you are already implanted at a low of something that has a future, for example, you're going to do nothing but make profit just because you made an informed good decision. And instead of spending your money on food, like McDonald's or something like that, you can buy groceries. So then you can have more money to throw into whatever stock you believe in. Okay. And then, inshallah, you're going to reap your rewards. But it's really just choosing, do you want to choose discipline over undisciplinedness? Do you want to choose being righteous, or are you going to choose unrighteousness? Okay. Because it's really easy to be greedy, sloppy, and have that instant quick mindset. Okay. That's why a lot of day traders get in loops, hamster wheels, and it's hard to become truly profitable. Meanwhile, there's billionaires just buying and holding. And there's billionaires in Bitcoin who pretty much never looked at the chart. Okay, so that tells us something. How can people who've never looked at the chart make so much money? Okay, so it's all about psychological perspective. You could be the best analytical 5-minute scalper in the entire world, and you probably won't be richer than some guy who believed in an informed play and had enough capital and shares. And this is why there's not really any billionaire day traders. Now, if you do hit a day trade or a couple of day trade, cool. Take a piece of that profit, over 50% for sure, okay, and put it into a long investment play. Okay, if you want to use day trading as a small vehicle like that, if you find a niche or if you find a setup that's clean, okay, but market's not always going to be working the same, which is why you can't rely on that and you can't get mad. Sometimes the reason why I say sometimes stay away from day trading, if you're going to hit like a little swing, cool, then put it into some shares, then put that profit into some Bitcoin, something where you don't have to keep constantly looking at it, having quick take profits, having sporadic actions, because this way you're going to avoid having your emotions be all over the place. Especially when you're early trading, it's going to be nice when you just start on a positive equity curve. We're here to make some money, and we're here to make sure our money makes money. Okay, and sometimes at the end of the year, as a day trader, you can actually be negative. But those emotional spikes, those emotional highs and lows can really make you feel like you're doing something. Okay, whole time you're not really making any money, or you wouldn't have made as much money with just, you just bought and hold some stock like GE or Bitcoin, for example. Okay. So perspective is extremely, extremely important in just every single scenario. Okay. There are billionaires and there's people who've never even looked at the charts. Okay. So that just tells us that the main basis of making profit in trading is investing in something valuable. Okay. Even if it is a scalp or something like that, if you're a day trader, you're going to take a valuable setup that has good criteria. Okay. Break and retest. And break and retest is the only way I would ever take a day trade, pretty much ever. Okay. If we're going to day trade, then I would wait for just clean break and retest. And if you find yourself a consistent flow in that, okay, then take that profit and put it to a long play. Okay. Don't go withdraw and start balling out. Just keep the wealth growing. And this is why it's also important to make sure we have capital trying to come from things outside of the market, because the market is going to be our vehicle for our money to make money. Okay. So the money is trying to make money here in the market, but we can't rely on the market for everything. This is why it's important to have another income coming in. So then while you're waiting on your play, you're not going to be anxious. You're not going to be emotional. You're not gonna have these quick take profits, okay? Because you're like, oh man, I'm trying to make some bread. I'm trying to close. I'm trying to get my bread back. I'm trying, in survival mode versus just holding, waiting, and being like, okay, this is gonna be true, and then boom, you win your trade. Okay. AVGO, for example, this stock kind of just goes up, literally. If you would have bought shares 3 years ago, you'd be rich. And even last year, and even like, and even me, like we've all just been missing certain opportunities that we don't need to miss due to the fact that the day trading mindset has just consumed the trading community. Okay. Because I was day trading, making consistent bread, but it's nowhere near how much I would have made if I would have just invested all of that money into AVDO, for example. So that's showing me that all that, and sometimes hard work is not always smart work. So all that hard work, all that emotional turmoil I went through in order to catch the setups, closing quick take profits and stuff like that, just to not even make the same amount as someone who could have not have looked at the chart and just bought and hold. Okay. So once again, this is why the long-term investing mindset is so important. You're really going to get out the hamster wheel. And the reason why a lot of you are struggling at day trading is not because you're bad traders, is that the market isn't really meant to be traded every single day. There's no way. If you get on the daily time frame, the weekly, the monthly, and you have a review, bird's eye view of the market, you'll understand that, okay, the market is not meant to be attacked every single day, especially with all these economic fluctuations. What you do is you use your daily time frame or your 4 hour, okay, and you identify structure. You look at areas of supports, which are going to be these bottom areas here, okay, bottom V areas, and then where price decides to bounce upwards, okay, even a low like right here, for example. Okay, support, both of these orange lines, supports, okay, support, okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and have resistances too. Resistances are gonna be where price falls downward at all-time highs. Resistance, this resistance, where price falls downward and selling occurs is going to be resistance, where price bounces upward and buying occurs is support, okay? And when you're on your daily chart, especially, the easy way to go ahead and buy dips is look where the supports want to meet or wait for support to meet with the resistance. Okay. Sometimes supports will just meet. Okay. So let's see why price might have wanted to bounce this low. Okay. And I can go ahead and see over here, I have another support area right here with resistance over here. Okay. So I can see why price might want to go ahead and bounce from this area here. Heavy areas of resistances here, all selling. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. Look at the black line, selling, 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 okay? And then resistance turn into heavy support. And we have some more support right here too, okay? So extremely easy to see why price wanted to do that. And another confirmation to know if something wants to go upward is when we're in our daily. Normally, if you see not one daily candle, but 2 daily candles, and then more going in an upwards direction, a lot of the times, inshallah, you're going to be bullish. What you're going to be doing is look for V structure fills. So just like Webull here, I'm looking for the V structure to be filled here. V, okay? So just like we're doing on Bitcoin when the lows came, okay? Even right here, this is the low I bought, or not, I bought the one up there, but even down here, this retest area here, okay? Kind of matches up with this resistance, support, okay? And then price started filling the V, okay? ENA USD, trying to have it fill the V right now, okay? Top of the resistance is up here. A lot of the times when you're investing like this, you're looking to make money when price goes in an upwards direction. So you need to know inherently where price wants to reverse from going in an upwards direction. It's not going to keep going forever. Sometimes it can, but you might want to take profit at certain areas where it's going to reverse. Price can't just keep going straight up. Has to go down to come up. Has to go up to come down. Okay. So we're looking at the resistances. That could be our take profit. And from there, feel free to sell around just 50 to 90% of your shares, whatever you want. And then go on to the next play. Okay. But as you can see, Warren waited for that play for around 8 years. Okay. So it's really just about stacking capital. Once you find your trade, stack capital, stack capital, stack capital, stack capital, stack capital, put in your trade, and you're going to be good. Okay. Even if you do hit a scalp or day trade or something, put it into a long investment, such as Bitcoin, some crypto, some stock you believe in, something. Because a lot of the times you're going to be right. And I don't want you guys to be regretful in the future. Like, dang, I should have invested in X, Y, and Z, because it sucks. It's not a good time when you think about what you could have did better. So let's just do better today. So even if it's $5, $10, whatever, let's just throw in whatever we can and just get it started. So cool. So yeah, just having that mindset is really just gonna keep us from ever retracing backward. And once again, knowing where the resistances are. Okay, so when we're trading stocks and crypto, especially shares, okay, we're looking to make money when price goes within an upwards direction. Okay, so knowing where resistances are at is going to be key. Okay, so even there's going to be resistance areas that are looking to get broken. Okay, price cannot continue upward unless it breaks a resistance. Okay, price has to break a resistance in order to go in an upwards direction. So whenever you see resistance created, if something has value, just know, inshallah, the goal of it is for it to meet with those resistances and break it. So use that logic within your setups. If price is looking to break resistances and this has value, we're making higher lows, okay? And I'm noticing price is making resistance, creating bases, and then going back upward. Okay, price might want to try and test the old resistance and try and break it. So then this way, it can go to an even new price again. Okay, and then from there, it'll try and go up here. Okay, to this resistance up here. So it really just depends, like, how bad do you want it in trading? How hard are you going outside of the charts? Because there are people who are billionaires right now from just having capital. So grind capital, grind business, grind whatever. Okay, get some money on and throw it into your plays that you believe in. Close at the resistances, rinse and repeat. Okay, rinse and repeat. Even if you're a day trader, okay, you know what you're doing, whether you trade Forex, futures, options, take that percentage of the profit, throw it into a long investment, throw it into some shares. Even if you're one of the best options players in the world, have some Bitcoin, okay? One of the best future traders, have some crypto, have some share, have something always making you money, okay? If you want to trade futures, crypto, whatever, you still can, but don't let the day trading mindset consume you. If you get a clean retest set up on one of those, yeah, you can make some bread, cool. And then from there, you can put that into a long investment. So then that bread is going to make more bread unexposed. Okay, pretty much. And a lot of times you're just making a lot of money on this stuff. Like, look at how much room is going to be on a lot of stocks that has upside. Okay, and especially if it has value, it's creating higher lows. You can almost smell what's going to be a good trade. It's just about, okay, do I have enough capital to really provide off of this? See, C3 AI, for example, I made a lot of money in that. You know, did like a really nasty contract flip, couple under $100 if I'm not mistaken, and then it's on my Stackmode.net website to like around 2-3K in just a couple of weeks by just holding. Okay, and I got pulled back on a tiny bit. Okay, but I ended up selling for some good profit. I think like yeah, still ended up selling for some good profit, and that was a really big lesson for me. And I was like, C3.ai, but it died. I'm gonna go and pull it up. Yeah, I'll pull it up. So C3.ai, and the reason why I made money off of this is because the ChatGPT AI wave was popping. This was in 2023. This was the trade I caught. And you can actually go to my Stackmode Twitter too and scroll all the way back to this date if for proof. So yeah. So yeah, if anyone wants to go back or doesn't believe me, I've tweeted this in 2023. You can go back to my tweets and see when I was tweeting about this. But yeah, 2023, boom. And I caught the pump all the way to, yeah, like 44 is when I sold. Or 44 was the highest number I hit. And then I sold after earnings. And then it went down to like 32, 33. And I think I sold there. But its high was like 48. I didn't sell at 48 though. I sold it around 33. So yeah, I got pulled back on. And then the earnings data, just a lot of option stuff started hitting and killing the profit. But just knowing I was able to make that much money by just buying and holding something that was valuable at the time made me extremely excited. But I didn't even look at the chart at the time. I didn't know how to read it. Otherwise, I would have closed at the resistance. I would have closed at 34. But you live and you learn. So that trade was meant to happen for me to not get all the profit because I don't think I would have learned as much. But just having that big bag taken away from me really taught me, like, okay, let me know where these resistances are at so I can get my money on. Because I'm telling you, if you see a number that's different from when you close and that number was higher, if like you don't like just trust God's plan and understand, like, okay, it's straight. Like it can really mess you up the first time. I can be like, damn, like I was just up. Like what happened to me? Like sorry God for cursing, but just like it was like what just happened? Like I was up and now I just like lost and or I don't have as much as I thought I did. So you can't think about items too. I don't care if you're up 50 million on a trade. Don't start thinking I'm about to go buy a yacht and a lamb and this and this and this. Stay down. Stay focused on the process. Stay humble and stay disciplined. Yeah. And once again, focusing on value. Check out a company like Roblox. So its high was around 140. Guess what? Created that base low throughout this couple years. And now everyone who believed in it, all it took was 3 years. Everyone who believed in it is now GG's. It hit the resistance. So everyone who believed in it caught the whole sweep up. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put in something here. And you have so much time to put capital in it, so much time to get money. Okay, I'm gonna go put this in a shares calculator. So the support was around 26. Okay, we'll say 126, and then sold at 140. $0 commission. Okay, so you you would have turned $2,600 into 11K. So and it's like you wouldn't have lost either. This is just you can just look up any shares calculator, any of them work. Yeah, and your 2.6K would have turned into 14K, netting you $11,000 profit by just buying and holding and understanding the V structure. And that's not even that much money, bro. That's only 2K in shares. Okay, let's say Bull, for example. Okay, Bull is at 13. Okay, let's say 1,000. Okay, Bull was at 13, looking to sell it around 79. Okay, 66K for 10K. Pretty much 10K worth of shares would net you 66K. So I know what plays like I'm personally going to be looking for, and I'm not going to be caught up in the day trade loop anymore. It's time to look at the long-term investing. It's time to understand that the goal of trading is not to make money. It's to keep your money. Okay. Because if you don't keep that money, it's going to be gone. You could run up 50 million in day trading, but you could have one emotional streak and slash everything for the most part. Okay. A lot of the time when you're in shares, even if market starts dumping down, if you're in from a good low, it's not going to affect you that much, especially when you know things are going to go right back up. It's going to be less of emotional turmoil. And on futures, you don't have to worry about your margin going higher and stuff like that. And options, sometimes there's time decay, especially if you can't afford the best contracts. If you can't afford the best contracts, then options is definitely hard to play, for sure. So that's why shares is really going to be a good way to turn a little into a lot, for sure. Yep. Yep. And then the profit's just gone. Mm-hmm. Real. And just the fact that profit's being extracted from you, I feel you. And that's why shares is just extremely, extremely nice. You know where your end goal target is. Okay. Even if I go ahead and pull up something like this. Yeah. SPLG, we'll pull that up. Gotcha. So yeah, as long as it has resistance above it value, then we should inshallah be able to go ahead and catch the bell curve, I like to call it. Okay, and catch it above these resistance areas, above current price up here, and above current price right here for reverse take profit. And just like the other things we're looking at, looking for price to catch a big sweep. So as you can see, we still have some more room here. Okay, so from around this resistance here, okay, to about this resistance up here, we have some more room to go. Okay, so we still have some room here, still money to be made. And then yeah, yep, exactly. Then I'll sell like 80% there, and then maybe sell like 10% more here, and then keep 10% for like the end of the time, essentially, depending on what it is. This is ENA USD. It's Ethena. Yep, it's a stable coin. So just having this long-term mindset changes the game. Pray it's gonna help you guys become profitable. And I'll catch you in the next one.